Welcome everybody. Now, this is a different video I'll be doing today. This is a video about my smallish collection of video games. People ask me, to do a small little video on this, to review basically what I have, what I'm probably planning to get in the future, what I like, what I dislike, or I would say dislike, or what are my preferences, what kind of tips I would give to anybody who's going now into video game collecting. It's not the big, I know I don't have the biggest of collections yet, but have in mind, I've only been collecting for about 10 months now. So I would say I probably ain't doing that bad considering. Now, as you can see here, these are my games. These are my controllers. Well, some of them actually have them somewhere stored. The double ones anyway. I only have like one of each here, or the one I just used the most. Okay, we have some more games here. Now, before I go into any detail on these, just give you a glimpse of what I have. So, let's go here. We have, in front of me, we have the Game Boy SP. I got this Game Boy because I didn't want to fiddle about with too many batteries, and this one is the version that is rechargeable. It plays all Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and I think in Game Boy Color. That's it. And it plays all Game Boy Color, so it covers really all the classic Game Boy games. Here I've got a copy of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories on the PSP that I was playing earlier. On the bottom we have the Xbox One. I think this is the older edition. It's a 500 gigabyte. Underneath I have my classic NES. This is the authentic NES. This is not the mini or anything else. I didn't collect them anymore. I did in the beginning, but I didn't like them too much, and there were games that the mini just didn't have. So I thought, might as well just get the original, since I got the original of everything else. Next to it, we have the Dreamcast. This is probably one of the consoles that I'd never had back in the day. Unfortunately, it is quite difficult to collect for this one because it was only around for a few years. Didn't really do that much compared to the mighty PlayStation 2. Next to it, we have the Nintendo 64. Now, this is another console I didn't have when I was a kid. I got this lately, and another one that's quite difficult to collect for due to the cardboard boxes. It's really difficult to find the games for in good conditions with the boxes. So we'll see how I go from there. The Super Nintendo, or the Super Famicom, as some know, is another console that is very difficult due to Nintendo's constant cardboard boxing decisions to put in their games anyway. I do have a few games, but it is the system that I probably play the least due to the lack of my catalog. Next to it, I have the Sega Mega Drive 2. And connected, I have the Mega CD. Now, probably, people will question, like, why the fuck do I have a Mega CD? I mean, that thing's shit. But, to be honest, I enjoyed it. I mean, I had it back in the day for a while before it broke. I got it again. This is probably one of the most difficult ones to collect for, in my country anyway. Everything is just, apart from the fact that you don't find any games, I have an NTSC version, so it's even more difficult for me. Only through online eBay or other sources I can probably find anything decent for that. Up we have the PlayStation 1. I do have the mini version, but I just prefer this version to have it out on display. I do play on this occasionally. I'll show you some of the games I have later. On top we have the PlayStation 3. Now, this is probably one of my favorite consoles. It always was. I think this console just like changed the way we see games as we do. Great. I mean, it's the 320 gigabytes, more than enough for me. Next to it, we have the Xbox 360. I can't remember I think, if I'm not I'm going to lie if I tell you actually how many gigabytes is on this one at the moment. But it's a blast of a console. It's my favorite Xbox console and probably the easiest one to collect for so far. Next to it, you'll see the PS2i toy. We have the PS3 camera, which I play a lot of PlayStation Move games. We have the Kinect for the Xbox One and the Kinect for the Xbox 360. And moving on to this side, we have the PlayStation 2 Slim. I like this one. It doesn't take hardly any space. It's so small, it's unbelievable. On top, we have the Wii. 2 controllers on its stand there to not need any batteries. We have the GameCube. And we have the first version of the Xbox. Now, this is my Nintendo Switch. I don't have the colorful ones. But I think this grey one looks cool either way. Let's just leave that there without trying to scratch it. I don't really place this too much on its stand due to the fact that I've heard a lot of bad stories about it. So, we have here, it's all connected to this Telefunken TV. Not the best of TVs, it's a 40-inch full HD. It's not 4K or anything super duper, but I got it at a really good price. And I have everything connected to a few things here. It is absolutely chaos actually in the back. I have it connected to a RCA splitter and a multiple SCART adapter, and it's all connected to the SCART. I have the 2 HDMIs of the Xbox One and the 360 because that's the ones I usually play most. I don't have a PlayStation 4 at the moment. That's going to be probably one of my next consoles, and I'll go into that one just a bit in a bit. Starting again with the games, this is my PS3 collection. One of my favorite games that I've finished lately is The Wolf Among Us from Telltale game series. Got my Legos. The FIFA games, to be honest, I didn't get them on purpose. The only reason I ever got them is because I was buying quite a few bundles of games and they just came along for the ride, really. I'm not a fan of any football games. Now, what I can tell you, the PlayStation 3 is an amazing console. It has such a nice library and it's probably one of the consoles that's best to collect for now, because due to the fact that the PlayStation 4 is probably one of the best best-selling ones now. Everybody's after that, and everyone wants to get rid of these PlayStation 3 games. So if you are a collector, my first advice is collect for PS3 as much as possible. Usually people sell them in really good conditions because the CDs work quite hard to destroy unless you're really clumsy. But yeah, it has some great titles, guys, and the PlayStation Move, even though, for some it was just a gimmick, I loved it. I still play on it. I got my Skylander, small Skylander collection up there, with my my little figures down here. The PS3 is just one of the best for me. So here we have if you can see it properly here. I'll just open that. We have the NES with the Top Gun, Super Mario 3. I have the first Ninja Turtle game, but it's in the NES, Simon's Quest. I still just want to try and finish that game for once. And we have Kung Fu. Very, 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 very addictive, that game, Kung Fu, even though it's so simple and everything. But, and I've got Super Mario Brothers here, and it's a weird edition. I'm not sure. I think it's Spanish in the back when it says, but I'm not sure. Here, as I said, my very, very, very small collection of the SNES, the Super Nintendo, Street Fighter 2 Vortex, and FIFA, probably 94. That should be, that would have been if it was, considered one of the series. But anyway, we have here my Nintendo 64. Now, my Nintendo 64 again, I'm more on the way. I'm not, again, too much of a fan of this. I think the reason that I never got this
console when it came out was just due to the fact that I could not stand, and I mean could not stand, its controller. The controllers for Nintendo 64, I don't care what anybody tells me, are the worst. I mean, just look at that fucking banana looking, oh god, it's so difficult to hold, especially if you've got small hands like me. But there are people that like it, whatever floats your boat, let's just say. Okay, we have my Xbox One limited edition Star Wars. I got this third party Super Nintendo and Mega Drive controller. It actually works for both. It's so cool. It actually works better than all of them. Here we have the Dreamcast with the packs in the back there. I don't know if you can see it. We have the SNES again. We have the PlayStation 2, first Xbox 360, another PlayStation 2, the GameCube, and the, as we said, the Nintendo 64. Here we have a few PS1 games. It's difficult again to find these in good condition because of the stupid bloody plastic easy breaking covers they had. All right, we have Diablo, and this is number one. I mean, this one is probably one of my favorites of my collection in total because I have this in perfect condition. It cost me quite a lot, but it was definitely worth it. Crash Bandicoot 2, the first Grand Theft Auto. Now, most people most people can't even remember that this exists. How many people I've told about Grand Theft Auto 1 and they think it's, San Andreas or something. Tony Hawk Skateboard, the first Tomb Raider, Rainbow Six and Worms. I think this is just my small collection of PS1. Here we have the Mega Drive. Just some titles that I love, especially the Road Rash and Cool Spot. Especially Road Rash is probably one of my all-time favorite games when it comes to bikes. Theme Park again, another favorite of mine. Chuck Rock, Pitfall. Power Rangers one sucked, but anyway, it's there. It's in good condition. Why not? Here we just have some scattered ones. This is for my. This is for the Game Boy Advance Flash. Have some Game Boy games here. Yep. Look, LJN. Yep, they ruined this game too. Don't worry. Crash Bandicoot on the Game Boy. I never even knew this existed. We got Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. We have Mario, Yoshi, and I think I have a Wario Land 3, and I love these little transparent cases. I think they're actually quite funny. There's actually a battery in there. That's so weird. Echo the Dolphin and the reproduction, I believe, of Earthworm Jim 2. Here in the back, we have the Lion King and Sonic and Knuckles. I just keep these there because they're not in boxes, and I don't, it's difficult to find some of these games, but I collect them anyway. I know some people probably prefer just to have only boxes or nothing, but when your resources aren't too good, that's what you have to do, I suppose. Okay, so I've got Wrestle War, WrestleMania, a ton of PSP games. Well, I won't say a ton, but enough. I wasn't a big fan of this. I loved the Grand Theft Auto. Especially the China Wars one. I thought that was a great version of that. I mean, I think it came out first on DS, and then it came out on the PSP, if I'm not mistaken. Here we have my limited edition Zelda Wii controller with the 25th anniversary Legend of Zelda Special Orchestra CD. Here we go. We go to the DS, 3DS, my small little tiny Switch collection. If you can call that a collection. But anyway, I'm trying my best. It's quite difficult even to find them, let alone good prices. We have here a small collection of GameCube and Dreamcast games. A small collection of Xbox, the first one. A few Mega CD titles there. My Xbox One collection there. It's not too bad. I'm trying to play these games as much as possible. I'm trying to get through them one by one. It's very hard with my time. We have Xbox 360. My 360 is a lot better than most of them. I like a few Kinect games, to have. Got Castlevania here. Yeah, Halo Wars, Diablo 3, Gears of War, all the must-haves. Well, for me anyway. Um, PlayStation 2, again, another nice console. One of probably the best ones I have. So many titles and so cheap to buy. This is a perfect time, guys. If you're collecting, collect for the PlayStation 2 now. It's brilliant. All right. Again, was, for many people say, it's a shit console. I know when it came out, it was like very gimmicky and everything, with the motion controllers, but I think it's a great console. I mean, it's got some, I still play Wii Sports, I still play Wii Fit. You've got Super Mario Galaxy 2, you've got Mario Kart, which is just brilliant. I mean, Metroid Prime 3, what else should I say? I mean, Mad World. Sports Resort was even decent. You've got Legend of Zelda, and I've got a Donkey Kong game that someone just gave me. Behind here, I have Guitar Hero on the PlayStation 3. Now, guys, if you want to ask me a few questions, I mean, what is the best thing to collect for now? As I said, it's the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2. Wii is good to collect for now. Maybe some DS games if you're going really even into the portable. The worst ones to collect for at the moment, unfortunately, would probably be for GameCube or Xbox One, PS4. The PSP is really good to collect for. It is super cheap on these ones. I'm talking about, I found like €2.50 for games on the PSP, especially if you get them for bundled. Mega Drive. Now, Mega Drive, it can get pricey. It depending on what game and how you find it and the quality and everything, it can go it can vary. I mean, I've paid quite a lot for some of the games that I've had, unfortunately. If you're a bit on a budget though, I wouldn't go for the GameCube. I wouldn't buy the GameCube if you're on a budget. Because you can just get the Wii, and if you get the right Wii though, get the white Wii, not the black one or the mini. Get the original first edition of the Wii. When it comes to add-ons like Mega CD and 32X, if you can find it, I can't find it yet, not in Cyprus anyway. But if you can find it. Is it worth it? Yeah, it is, because it's a nice trip down memory lane and everything. If you like, those video motion games, I don't know I can't remember how they pronounced it. I do. I thought they were just so goofy and cheesy. I just loved all that stuff. So just be prepared to open your pocket though. What else? There's the Super Nintendo again. If you can find the console and if you can find it in a good condition and find the games, and if you're not too picky, you're not getting the ones in the boxes because the boxes never really lasted too long. I mean, I remember throwing them away as a kid. Then the Super Nintendo obviously is a great console. What else? The Dreamcast, yeah, is very difficult. But if you're gonna start, I would start with the PS3, PS2. Xbox 360, very easy to get now, very cheap. Even Xbox One console is on its way there, so if you have a bit of patience, it's worth it because it's a nice console too. Apart from that, I mean, just have some patience, guys. Don't be in a hurry. Don't just buy anything. Look for bundles. It's much better, to be honest, in my opinion. Because you can always exchange, and you usually get a lot of things a lot cheaper. I got some crazy prices on some of the stuff I got. If you can, pay a bit more and to get it with a box. I always prefer things in a box because the value always stays higher when it's in a box. But apart from that, guys, just try and keep it tidy. I mean, you gotta. Just to start with, I mean, you would at least need a good $2,000 just to start with. You know, I mean, I've given a lot more than that, but just have in mind, if you're going to get into it, be prepared, guys. All right, so that was my take on game collecting. If you like my video, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, game on.